We ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, glowing up, but we still trapped. That's how a nigga survives. Flowing out, got the crowd packed. Yeah, that's how a nigga provides. Y'all insta this, y'all snap that, y'all diss this, and they snap back. Another mass shooting in the headlines. I'm like, damn, where that attack at? Cause y'all think this about race. They font that shit in your face. It's like every day it's the same agenda. It's really not that hard to trace. Fuck it, we might as well face it. Accept it, whatever it's wrapped in. There'll come a day when they run out of grace. So me and my niggas say trapping. Yeah, ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Hey, someone be too who I wanted to be and then what I became. Ended up going my own way, but I couldn't stay in my lane. Now if I'm honest, I've taken a liking to wearing these chains. They hold me down, make it easier when I start feeling the pain. Out of the overflow, your heart, they say your mouth speaks. Well, my heart must be fucked up, cause I can't speak and I can't sleep. So I stay woke in this daydream. Got shit to do, got the world to see. Got the same crew, got some new fleets. This an empire, fuck a boutique, that's real. I only say what I feel, got a new plate with the same meal. On a new hype with the same chill. Y'all too fake, I stay real. Got cast down from heaven, but I'm too good to stay in hell. I don't know where the story ends, but I keep writing like, oh well, oh well. Yeah, I keep writing like, oh well, oh well. Yeah. Hey, I don't know where the story ends, but I keep writing like, oh well, oh well. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
I say white to remind people that white supremacy is everywhere.
Oh, God, what a cunt.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Swole Normuth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing, testicles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 24, 9 to 6 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm. because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy, Papa Swole, yo, back with another episode. Today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2 Flexing and all you beast.
Fucking Catalina wine.
Yeah, it's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
The fucking Catalina wine mixer.
All right, famwise, welcome to the show. Welcome to Tainty Tuesday. It's Tuesday, March the 7th, and it's time to get deep into it. So drop in the comments down below. What are you smashing today? Welcome to the show. Hit the like button, everyone. And of course, make sure you check the links in the show notes to join the fam, to check out discounts and awesome brand new drops for Swolenormous apparel over there at papaswolio.com. And let's see what else we got here. We got memberships. We have how to submit a question for the show. We got a lot of stuff. So check it out, swolenormousx.com, and all the links down below. Hit that like button. And if you haven't yet, over there on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, bang your ear holes with Papa and the fam every day. Make sure you leave us a 5-star review if you enjoy the show. And let's get into today's episode. Super stoked to have you. How are we doing, Stephanie? We got Karen, Loretta, Positive Charisma, Cerny, Kika. We got Nick, BK, Maddie, Adam. We are ready to go. So put some respect on it. Drop in the comments down below. Let's bust this nut open. It's going to be absolutely fucking lit. Ow. Put some respect on it, beaches. Tainted Tuesday. Oh, look at that gem. Look at that gem. I'm surprised I fit it all on one card. You get it? You get it? All right. Hashtag healthy as Lizzo. We all know Lizzo is healthier than we'll ever be, but we can only hope to be as healthy as Lizzo.
You can be fat and be healthy. I'm sorry, Lizzo, healthier than I will ever be.
Healthier than I'll ever be. Healthier than I'll ever be. She's so healthy. She's so healthy. All right, fam, hit that like button, drop in the comments down below. Healthy as Lizzo. And of course, that's pretty funny because it's pretty fucking easy to do. All you have to do is not stuff your face with garbage and go to the fucking gym once in a while. And you'll be plenty healthy. All right, there's the Tainty Man. Very nice. Aww. And of course, well, maybe not of course, but I don't know if she's on camera. We have the church. She's kind of, let's see. She's kind of off to the side. There you go. There's Sexy Beach. There's Sexy Beach. The whole fam is here. All right, now let's get into that tip, fam. Are you ready? Everyone moisturize and let's do it. Babe, just an inch, just an inch. It's cold outside. All right, we got a great show. Before we get into anything, it is Tuesday, March the 7th, and guess what? We talked about it yesterday during our accountability meeting. We had great new releases. We'll talk about that in a hot minute. But did you guys know? Did you guys know what's going on? Do you know what's going on this weekend? Anyone? Anyone? I think Nick. Nick's all over that. Nick is just like frothing at the mouth. We have P3S6 dropping on Saturday. Am I right this time? I said Sunday. I always say Sunday and I get the day mixed up. Episode 2500 is going to be on Swole Slut Saturday. And you know what that means over there at Jesus Christ, swolenormousx.com/signature. swolenormousx.com/signature for everyone that's ready to drop, to pick up on P3S6. These are, for those that are new, might not know what it is. These are exclusive one-day release only designs that are one-time release. This style each comes with a unique signature. It's one of a kind and you can collect them all. Not anymore if you missed the first few, but these are one-time release. Every 100 days, we do a brand new drop. This is a 6th edition of the Signature Series. Allow myself to introduce myself. And they're available for 24 hours. So midnight to midnight on the date of episode 2500. The next one comes out 2600, 2700. And we've been doing this since episode Swole 2K. And it's available over there on the website, swolenormousx.com/signature. It'll be available at midnight on Friday to Saturday and for 24 hours. All right. So P3S6, March 11th, 2023. Okay. A couple other things before we get into Swole Fam posts. We got some new drops. We got some new drops for apparel. I just had them up on the screen. We talked about this yesterday. We got a very simple typewriter, Go to the Fucking Gym, which is very nice. Simple, straightforward, and not as abrasive and hitting people in the face. But if they look closely enough, they'll realize they need to get off their lazy asses and go to the fucking gym. So another style for those of you that enjoy the GTTFG. We have an epic new design that gets added to our Breaking Swole series. I am the one who lifts. This is absolutely awesome. Heisen Swole returns. So check that out over there at papaswolio.com. Use code DailySwole for 10% off. We also have a toxic green. We did that with the Go to the Fucking Gym, the English version, but now we have the hashtag VAPG, the Veil Puto Ignacio. And we have both of those in toxic green for your convenience. And we also, for Swolenormous X members, we have a brand new yoga class. Genevieve dropped a sick class, Express Recovery Flow number 5. So add this into the Express Recovery Flow series. And for those that don't know, Express classes are anywhere between like 25 and 40 minutes. And we have, of course, many recovery flows. But in our Express Recovery Flow series, this is the 5th one. So if you enjoyed this one, go and check out the other 4. And we have almost 300 classes in our yoga studio. And we add a new one every single week. So if you tried that class already, drop in the comments. We dropped it yesterday. And if you're a member, you can just click on the updates tab and check out the brand new class. So fucking sweet. Now,
what's in the box?
Who loves some Express yoga? I think we all do. All right. First post of the day comes from Art. Let's see what knowledge cock Art is swinging today. Hold on. I got a burp coming. It could have been better.
How dare you?
It could have been better. Sorry, Greta. All right, Art says, what up, Swole Fam? What up, Papa? What's up, Art? I'm normally a fly on the wall here, but I felt like sharing. A few weeks ago, I had to my second job working at Chili's as a food runner. It was burning me out, working over 20 hours a week on top of my day job and getting out at 1 a.m. during the week. Fucking hustling, man. I did my best to keep up with my training and eating, but it caught up with me. I'm still getting things back on track now, but I feel much better. I'm not perfect. I slip up. I'm not shredded to the bone, nor am I, quote, swole. I'm just doing my best every day. Today, I smashed Push Alpha from Swole season, and now I get to enjoy some steak. Not grass-fed, as it's out of my budget, and jasmine rice for dinner. Thank you, Papa Swole, for everything you do for us. No, Art, thank you. And of course, not everyone has access to maybe grass-fed, grass-finished beef, but the point is, you are making better choices with what you have available. And that's what I want everyone to remember is it's about the choices that you made and the choices that you can make and what choice is the best choice. So is grass-fed and grass-finished better? In my opinion and experience, yes. And as Art knows, yes. But is grain-fed beef better than what? I mean, I don't know, Oscar Mayer low quality bacon? Is it better than McDonald's? Is it better than a bag of chips? Is it better than, it's better than many, 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 many fucking things. So don't let anyone get it twisted. Don't let anyone twist my message up. Of course, I'm always going to, and I know Art appreciates that. So thanks for sharing, bro. Thanks for sharing. Let's get another round of applause for Art in the house. Don't get it twisted. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm not going to sit here every day and make videos and be like, make a small incremental decision. It doesn't have that same ring to it. I'm going to tell you the best thing that you could possibly do always. But you have to understand that you need to take the next step from wherever you are. So if you're stuffing your face with garbage every day, you need to do that less. You need to make movements forward in the positive direction. And everyone's going to be at a different place. Everyone's going to have different capabilities in this moment. Doesn't mean that Art isn't working towards improving his life and going to make better choices or better decisions or be able to make better choices or make different types of sacrifices and X, Y, and Z in the next couple years. There's always progress to be made. And there's the discipline and the growth from doing what needs to be done every day. Even once you, let's say there is no perfect, but once you are hitting those nails on the head and you have a great day, let's say you have, by your definition, you have a great day, which is awesome. And I hope you do every day. But let's say you have one of those great days. Cool. That's great. What about tomorrow? What about the next day and the next day and the next day? Like, you still have to string those wins together. You still have to have that next day. You still have to do it again and again and again. And so many people just do it one time like, wow, I was successful today. Well, that's not going to get you results. Today doesn't get you results. It's today plus tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day. And when people are just doing it once in a while, they're just doing things once in a fucking while. That's why they don't get results. Because the 7 pillars, pillar number 7 is consistency. You could do great with nutrition. You could do great with training. But if you're not doing it every day, you are not going to make progress. All right, Dustin, welcome to the fam. Today is my first day with Swolenormous X. I am currently sidelined with legs for 6 weeks due to a left quad and quad tendon strain. I look forward to going all out, and any suggestions on therapy or recovery to strengthen my knee and leg would be great. Dustin, sorry to hear about that injury. I don't know if you're in therapy or anything like that, but make sure you ease back into it. Start practicing the yoga and check out the ankle, knee, and hip mobility masterclasses. That way you can strengthen your tendons and ligaments and strengthen those muscles through a full range of motion. And depending on why you didn't put here in your post, it's always important to know why an injury took place. If you can, sometimes there's an impact or something. Oh, I did this and boom. But of course, if you have more mobility, you have more strength and elasticity, it reduces your risk of injury. But at the same time, you want to prevent it in the future, and you want to mitigate and minimize any kind of compensations and weak points. If you have weak points and weak balance around the hips or the ankle or the knee, that can translate into an injury. So hopefully you check out those master classes and they serve you well. All right, we got a post here from Elizabeth. Elizabeth says, had some little victories this weekend that I would like to share. I went on a hike through the snow that was really tough, but I made it. When I was finished, I called my pops and told him what I did. He said, holy shit, Liz, there's no way you would have made that hike 2 years ago. Shit, not even last year. Tell you what, fam, not only was I proud of myself to have my dad, who is a no excuses fit guy himself, to tell me he was proud of me, felt so great. Matter of fact, it felt so great I went and did it again the next day. It makes me want to keep pushing and being the best me I can be. Be good, fam. Have a good week. That is fucking dope. Good for you. Big win. Big win. So your father is a no excuses fit dude. Nice. Nice. So you've gotten the seal of approval from your fit dad. Good for him and good for you. Nice. You went on a hike through the snow. Look at that. Look at that. See, it's great to do yoga and to do the 7 pillars and to lift weights and all those things. But when you actually see the results, it's one of those things where you think you're making progress or being disciplined, and then you put on clothes and you actually physically see, whoa, they don't fit. And it's that comparison. So you're lifting, you're putting your effort in, you're getting better with your training and your balance and your stability and your endurance. But then when you go and apply it, you go on a hike and all of a sudden you realize, I wouldn't have done this 2 years ago. I wouldn't have done this at all. It shows your progress relative to something that you could have done or couldn't have done, or clothes that you used to wear in comparison. It's like a picture before and after, only it hits you in a different way because you have a vivid memory of not being able to do it or not being able to fit into certain clothes or things like that. Good for you, Elizabeth. Fucking Swole fam crushing it. As opposed to what, right? Swole fam's crushing it again. Hey, everyone. Welcome to episode 2496. Guess what? Breaking news. The Swole fam's fucking crushing it again. Shocker.
Yow.
Shocker. Swole fam's crushing it again. Could just say that for every episode. Just assume the Swole fam's crushing it. No matter where you are, even if you don't listen to every episode, just know the Swole fam's crushing it. So if you're not, just know that the Swole fam is. Because they're fucking epic. You guys are swole sluts. We got a post here from Helen. Greetings, Swole fam. What an intro. Greetings. Greetings, Helen. I'm Helen B. Been listening to the podcast for about a month and realized beyond all the goofiness, there is real and meaningful content that I can use to make my life better. I am happy to be here and beginning using the Swolenormous X site, the fam, and Papa Swolio to continue refining my fitness journey. Y'all are the best. Aw, that's so wonderful to hear. Thank you.
He's on fire!
Thank you. The goofiness, I don't know what you're talking about. Goofiness. Does anyone know what Helen's talking about? I think we're 100% serious. That knowledge cock is not joking around. Welcome to the fam, Helen. Super stoked to have you here. All right, last post. Matthew. Hey, Swole fam, I'm Matt Young and about to complete my 41st trip around the sun. They say third time is a charm. I'm never leaving again. Sorry for this long rant. I had canceled to save money to use for an extra gym membership, and I never ended up doing it. What I did end up doing was binge eating my kids' Halloween candy last October and fucked my gains up for about a month. I nipped it in the ass before Thanksgiving and Christmas. Papa was in my head saying, fuck your resolutions, start now. I missed the Swolga and stretching videos, and I travel for work, so I use Planet Fitness on the road. The 4 to 5 days that I'm home, I will fill in with less heavy workouts until I can get a basic home gym setup. I lost 68 pounds from February 2018 to September 2019. 255 pounds down to 187. Wow, that's fantastic.
Wow.
Gained 23 pounds back from October 2020 to last year. That's a long period of time. So, I mean, you gained 23 pounds slowly over the last couple years. Was sitting at 210 pounds for a while. Now I'm down to 197. Still fat, have a lot of work to do, need the accountability and the community. Well, you're back, Matthew. Say no more, fam. Say no more. Look, I get it. Sometimes people have to quit, they leave, or they think they can do it on their own. And maybe you can. Maybe you can, but should you? Like, I'm not doing this on my own. I'm here every day. I'm as much a part of the Swole fam as everyone else. So maybe you can, but should you? And do you want to rewind the clock? Do you want to go back on all the progress that you've made? A lot of times people think that they're in a better spot than they are, or they think they've fortified their habits more than they have. And remember, community is essential, and community are the thoughts, the ideas, the people in real life and digitally and online, like the Swole fam, that keep you focused. It's that mindset. I mean, anything you allow in your eye holes, in your ear holes, in your environment, digitally or in real life, like that's your community, that's your environment. And you have to be militant about your community. You have to be militant about what you surround yourself with. And if you're not, these poisons can sneak in and these demons can come back very quickly. Now, of course, Matthew, you're at 210 or 197. You're down from 255 previously. So you're still doing great. Don't get bummed out. But here's a great example for anyone that maybe has left or is thinking about leaving, or like, oh, it's an investment like anything else. And you have to have skin in the game. You have to have skin in the game. You can listen to the podcast for free. You can follow the other content, everything for free, putting out tons of videos that will keep you fired up going to the gym. But you have to have skin in the game. And the Swole fam, we have high standards. We have amazing quality content. And, the Swole fam is the best part of everything. Like, even with the thousands of hours of yoga and nutrition and programs and masterclasses, it's the people. It's your community. It's what you surround yourself with. And you want to surround yourself with amazing people, and you want the tools to be able to forge the life that you want to live. And we're proud to have Matthew back. Now, anyone that might have And we've had some people say this before, like they're embarrassed or like, hey, I wonder if you'll welcome me back. Of course. Of course. It's not like, you lose your job and you have to cancel and cut back on some things that, no, you can't come back. No, we don't have grudges like that. And the thing is, the reason why no one has grudges, or why I wouldn't be like, oh, you're going to come back and give you shit. Why? Like, I'm focusing on my shit. Everyone in the Swole fam is focusing on their own shit. So if you're ready to join, be fucking positive and crush it with everyone, no one in the Swole fam is going to be like, oh, you can't come back. No, we're all doing our own shit. So it doesn't matter what people around are doing. Even within the Swole fam, it's like we're doing our shit ourselves. We're supporting one another. But it's if someone in the Swole fam's like, I'm quitting. Okay, I'm still doing my shit. You don't have to be here. If you're not ready to be here, you're not going to put in the work, then it's not for you. Straight up. Same thing with people in your physical life, like in your immediate presence. You're doing it for you anyway. Don't do it for anyone else. That's why a lot of people quit, is because they're doing it because they think other people want them to. That's why when we get questions like, how do I get so-and-so to work out? How do I get my spouse? How do I get my parents? How do I get my best friend to exercise? Like, you can't. It doesn't matter what they're doing. They're going to do what they're going to do. You have to lead by example, and don't waste your time with people that don't deserve it. And that's just the lay of the land. By the way, we're getting to some knowledge cock, but fam, look at that. Oh. Look at that. That is impressive. That is impressive taintiness.
A fucking taint.
We got some pup yoga. Look at that form. Look at that taint. Look at that. Look at the toe point. That is a 10 out of 10. He's got his feet together. That's perfect form. Perfect form with the rotation. Very nice. Very nice. Excellent.
You switched the samples.
Well done. Well done, my guy. That's some high quality taint right there. They call this, that's exactly right, Frank. They call this the twisted taint. The twisted taint pose. Very challenging. How comfortable does that look, though? That looks tremendously comfortable. Like, my back is aching to get into that position right now. That just looks, I just want to get into that. Oh, tainty man. Look at his little teeths. Let's get in there on that. Let's see what we got here. What you doing, buddy? I like how he was adjusting to get into that position more. He was just adjusting and moving around to get deeper into that position. All right, we can look at him all day. He's cute. But I think, all right, I think we'll move on. Very nice. And Church is just like, I'm just going to do a normal sleeping pose. All right, hashtag healthy as Lizzo, because if you're as healthy as Lizzo, you're probably going to die from diabetes. So obviously this is a joke. You could be healthy as Lizzo just by, I don't know, waking up, scratching your balls or scratching your clit and starting your day with a cheeseburger. Okay, healthy as Lizzo. And of course, Lizzo, she's really healthier than any of us.
You can be fat and be healthy.
Ever be.
I'm sorry, Lizzo, healthier than I will ever be.
It's just a fact. It's just a fact. All right, fam. Let's get into some knowledge. Goofiness. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Helen? Goofiness. I have no idea what you're talking about. All right. If you want to submit a question, if you want to call into the show, askpapaswolio.com. Links in the show notes down below. Let's take the first one. If you have a live question, hashtag askpapaswolio. We'll take one from Matty. You are on the sleaziest sleazecast that there ever could possibly be.
So what do you drink on your videos when you always say, go to the fucking gym? And you spit out? Is that just water or what is it?
My young Padawan. It's vegan tears. Vegan tears.
You fucking people.
Freshly squeezed, and they're very, very salty. If you've ever tried vegan tears, they're very salty. And, but people say like, oh my God, you're wasting water. One, it's not water. Two, it's vegan tears, and they're plentiful. Vegan tears are just like they're just everywhere. It's really inexpensive. So it's not like a cost prohibitive. There's just so many vegan tiers. Try it sometime. It's really hard to keep down. But if you're training hard, high in electrolytes, so it's really good like that. So there's that. Water. You must be new here. Thank you for the question, though. Let's see. Saiyan Zero, Papa Swole, I tried yoga last night. I found out I can no longer bring my left leg into Indian style position. And if I force it, there's pain. Specific movement to reverse this. Keep practicing yoga. It's hip rotation. It's internal and external rotation. So, don't force anything in yoga. Don't force anything. You just need to activate certain muscles and get into that better. So, hip rotation exercises. So check out those do the yin, do like the hip rotation classes and the hip activation classes. And all those are in the yoga studio. If you don't have access to the yoga studio, you could join. I'm not sure if you're officially a member, but never force anything. Never force anything. Never force through pain. That's like one of the number one things when it comes to practicing yoga. Freddie, Papa Soy, when it comes to relieving a pinched sciatic nerve, would glute-related stretching be a good option? It would. Are you sure it's a sciatic nerve? Like, has it been diagnosed? Some people think it's sciatic and it's not. Like, does it radiate down your leg? I mean, it's very uncomfortable, but a lot of times the sciatic nerve actually travels through the piriformis muscle, which is deeper. It's under the glutes. It's right there on the sacrum. It's really deep. That's what she said. Thank you so much. So doing some foam rolling, doing piriformis stretching, figure 4 pose, doing yin yoga. I said pigeon pose. You could do it on an incline bench to mitigate the amount of external rotation in the hip. You can also do foam rolling and things like that to loosen the tissue around it. That can help tremendously for decompression. So when it comes to stretching is only really good. Like when you really want to improve mobility and pressure changes around a joint, it's going to be stretching and strengthening. Because if you just stretch something, it's going to go back to the same tightness if you're not doing muscle activation to relieve pressure. Because tightness is really a product of weakness shortened or over lengthened on the other side of the joint. Every joint has like two sides. Like it's going to work in two different ways. So you have muscles that move or wrap around and provide actions on different parts of the joints, depending on the joint, whether it's a ball and socket, whether it's a hinge joint, things like that. So you want to make sure that you're creating strength. That's why mobility is so much more important, in my opinion. And equally, if it's different, just stretching and foam rolling and then going back to what you were doing might give you some temporary relief, but then the issues are going to come back because you haven't changed the strength profile and the balance around the joints. So that's why if you have something tightness in your hips and things like that, you just do a little stretching or get a massage, like, oh, it feels good. A couple days later, it's back to the same way it was because you're not creating any activity. You're not firing any proper muscles and creating different strength protocols and tension protocols. You're just relieving it, and then your body will snap back to its old habits. So you just got to make sure that you practice mobility, which is strength training through a full range of motion. With body weight, can do it with dumbbells, can do it with bands, rather than just doing some stretching. So make sure you're getting muscle activation there around the joints. Just some thoughts as you go through that. Rael the Druid, vegan tears are organically sourced. They are completely sustainable. They're just so plentiful. It's just, they're everywhere. Just everywhere, especially nowadays. Hold on a second. I got a burp coming. This is great. This is good stuff.
Come on, man.
Oh, God, that was good. Ortiz, Papa Swole, what do you feed your dogs? Mine just died of cancer at 7, and I wouldn't want that again in the future. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, some breeds are just more predisposed to illnesses and stuff. Sorry to hear that. Our dogs, they all eat the same. We give them a little bit of kefir, the raw kefir in the morning and now and again, raw beef, raw grass-fed and finished beef, organ meats like liver and heart, sometimes some bone marrow, depending on what we have available. But we have like the liver and heart mixed in with their beef, and maybe a little bit of sweet potatoes cooked that we just mix in. So we feed them raw, but a little sweet potato keeps the consistency good and keeps their poops on point. So organs and beef. Yeah, give your dogs raw meat and organs. Let's see. Brandon Carter, Papa Solio, any recommendation for sore feet? My feet are killing me, especially my heels. What I read, it may be plantar fasciitis. Hoping to see a doctor in the next few weeks. Plantar fasciitis is just inflammation of the connective tissue on the bottom of the foot, which is the plantar fascia. So it's what are you doing for your feet? Are you warming them up before you get up in the morning? Are you stretching your calves a lot? Are you doing anterior tibialis work, doing your toe lifts? Check out the ankle mobility masterclass in X. Again, this is tightness around the joint, the soleus and the gastrocnemius, muscles that go into the same Achilles tendon. They get very tight over time. People are sitting down, they're wearing elevated heels, so you're shortening and tightening up the tendons, and depending on what you're doing for work or what kind of footwear you're using can create inflammation after a while. So I would be doing toe lifts. I would be doing foam rolling for the tendons and for the muscle tissue. Doing things like yogi squats, elevating your heels and warming up. Do like the alphabet before you get up in the morning, just to warm it up before, because as you currently have inflammation, it's going to be something that's going to be pretty uncomfortable. So you have to be careful not to aggravate it while you're trying to heal it. So chances are you need to strengthen the muscles in your feet. You should be using less footwear. Just saying, this is my recommendation. Rolling out your feet with a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball, reducing the tension around your feet, but strengthening the muscles on the top of your shin, the anterior tibialis. So doing toe lifts and toe raises you could do against a wall. You can get one of those tib blasters or use a kettlebell and do toe lifts. So strengthen the muscles on the front part of the joint, and then stretching and lengthening the ones on the back. And as the inflammation goes down, you can start strengthening them, working more on the soleus, like seated calf raises are fantastic. As to grass, lunges are great with your foot elevated. It's a great way to progress into that if you have inflammation. So you really don't want to do strength training on something that has inflammation, but you do want to activate the muscles in the front of the joint. So if you have a lot of imbalance in the ankles, it's really because but the human species now, wearing shoes all the time with elevated heels really shortens the calf complex and the Achilles tendon and causes a lot of problems long term. So you got to start at the bottom. It's like having a Ferrari and $50 used tires. Like, you can have 1,000 horsepower, you're still going to go off the road and crash because you might have your body's working, or you take care of yourself, you eat properly, but then if you're wearing high heels or sneakers all the time and you're wearing foot coffins, which I usually call them, terrible for the feet, especially if you're elevated heel. And Nikes, Reeboks, they all have elevated heels. It's not good. Okay. Enrique, company I work for is having a food charity for dogs. 99.9% are kibbles and soy treats. Yeah, well, think about any kind of food drive. It's all like, processed, stored food and like BPA and in cans, and any kind of like food drives is usually like chips and garbage. Think about that. If you're feeding your dogs, like kibble and stuff, it's junk food. And don't have regrets. Don't be like, oh my God, I killed my dog or something. Not necessarily. Every dog is different, but it's like you're feeding them processed food. Yeah, raw ground beef. Ortiz, raw ground beef, grass-fed beef. Boom. Like, we get pet burgers, like it's made for the dogs, but it's just probably a lower standard in terms of like human, like ground, but it's grass-fed ground beef and has heart and liver in it. I know people are always shocked, like, you give your dog like raw beef. It's like, you can go to the supermarket, grass-fed beef, just get a boom for that. And it can get expensive. But that's why, like, I don't drive a BMW. I don't have like a $70,000 car because it's a waste of money, in my opinion. I don't have Gucci belts or fancy. I spend money on if I need stuff for like the live streaming and shit like that for the business, I'll invest in the business, training equipment, and food, you know, and the shelter, things for like that, invest in my health and my future and for my family. So a lot of people will be like, oh my God, it's expensive to get beef and to feed my dogs beef. It's like, it's food. And this weird idea that, oh, it's dog food and human food. You mean food? You mean food? Animals are supposed to eat what they're supposed to eat. It's like, oh yeah, your dog's supposed to eat this hard, dried shit in a bag with cornstarch and all this other crap. Anyway, I could rant on that. Let's see. Frank, I have bad shin splints from ice hockey. Are there any exercise to fix them? Yep, the same thing we just talked about when it comes to the person having the heel problems or the plantar fasciitis. Shin splints are from ice hockey, really? Usually people get that from running heel to toe. Shin splints is just muscle imbalance. You need to do anterior tibialis activation. You need better ankle mobility and strength. So all the things in the ankle mobility masterclass, toe raises, tib blaster. You could do this with bands, kettlebells, hip flexor work with your toes and extend your ankles in extension. You can do all those things and it'll be tremendous for you. Let's see. Sayan, Papa Swole, do you approve of or use Theraguns? I think we have one. I used it once and then I never used it again. We don't have a Theragun. It was like a different brand. Do I approve of? I didn't like it. I just thought I was like, this is stupid. It didn't, it was like, it just felt like it was shaking it. It wasn't doing anything. I think maybe those things could be beneficial if someone else is doing it, but anytime you're doing it yourself, it's not going to be the same. Like if you're foam rolling, you could relax into it, but when you're adding pressure, it's just this, like when you're doing it yourself, it's not the same effect. Do I approve of? I mean, you can use it, but you know, we had one, or Mama Solio got one, forget when or why. And I did a little bit. I'm like, this is kind of silly. I'd rather foam roll if I do it. This is me personally. Suzanne, Papa Solio, no question. Aw, man. Goddamn. Just thank you from my 11-year-old for your input regarding training last Friday. He is as happy as a fish in water. Today, gym in the big people section with easy free weights. Nice. Good for you. Good for you and good for him. Glad to hear it. Yeah, I mean, in terms of an age, like when can my child start lifting? Like they can lift young as long as they're not going super heavy and pushing to failure and doing tons of volume. They can still learn how to move their body properly. But as a young man, you know, make sure he's doing things like rope climbs, like doing a lot of like total body movements, especially when they're that age. And that's a great way to reduce the risk for anyone, especially when you're younger because your joints are forming. Like he doesn't need to do isolated bicep curls to failure. That's too much. But doing total body movements, like he could do a squat, not a lot of volume, but like he could do squats, or he could do like a pressing movement, like compound movements that are multi-joint. You don't need to do isolation at that age, but just learning proper form for movements with a lighter load is no problem as long as you're taught properly. Freddie, when it comes to clubs and maces, how would you incorporate them around a training program? Plan on getting some 5-pound ones soon when I get paid to help my shoulders stay healthy. Use them as a warm-up. You know, go light, start with low volume, see how you feel, and start doing them every day. And use them as a warm-up. It's better to start light, do a lot of reps, and do it frequently to build up that kind of blood flow and strength. The last thing you want to do is go too heavy and treat it like going heavy with clubs and maces when you start. It's like, oh, I've never really lifted before. Let me max out with torque. So you don't have the coordination. So when you have a light weight and you're moving and every rep is a little bit less consistent and you don't have the tendon and ligament integrity, the joint integrity, you know, with less weight, there's less of a risk. But when you start getting heavier, you know, you have a little fraction of a movement here and there, you're going to get a lot of inflammation. So I did it myself. I was going too heavy with mace. I went too heavy with one arm too early because I was strong, but I didn't have the coordination or the joint exposure to it yet. So I got tendonitis and it was nasty for a couple months. But I fixed it, and then I don't have problems anymore because I built up that foundation going really, really light for a lot of reps. I do it frequently. And what I do now is I go lighter with more reps more often than I go heavy. But now when I go heavier, I just feel strong as shit. And I don't have any worries about it right now. There's always a risk. But for example, I'll warm up and then I'll grab the 10 or 15 pound steel club and I'll do 20 to 30 minutes straight of swinging with the club. So I'll literally do the 15 pound for 30 minutes. I don't do the same movement for 30 minutes straight, but I'll do like 10, 15 reps, like 30 seconds or so, underhand to the right. Then I switch hands, underhand to the left. And then I'll switch. I'll do like overhand across, overhand circles from the right, and then overhand for the left. And then I'll repeat. So I'll do that for 20 or 30 minutes. Not necessarily before a heavy strength training workout. I might only do like 5 or 10 minutes. But on days where it's like a leg day, or I want to do another workout, or I just want to do a little kind of like moving meditation, listen to a podcast or some music and just swing a club a little bit. So high rep, but warm-ups are great. Like do it for a warm-up. Do like 5 or 10 minutes of club swinging. Like it's like you do some dead hangs, do some club work. That's your warm-up. You do like a warm-up set and you're good to go. Like your joints are all warmed up. You got tons of fluid and blood flow and decompression when you're doing swings. Let's see. T-Bone, let's take a call. We got to move on. I appreciate the questions, but we do have to move on. We'll take one more. We'll take some more. Let's see. T-Bone Capone, Papa Solio, while it is not your area of expertise, what is a good shaving cream / oil? # healthy as Lizzo. I think, I know, because I don't shave. I guess you could use, there's different types of oils, or like essential oils, or maybe jojoba you can shave with. I don't know. Yeah, it's a good point, because I don't shave. So like, I don't know what I would use anymore. Like beef tallow, I'm sure you could use something like that, because I don't shave. So it's a good point, because I'm trying to think like, what would I use if I did shave? You want to make sure there's no parabens or phthalates or things like that. So I'll have to ask Mama Solio, but it would be some kind of probably like natural oil combination if I did. If you're a member, make sure you go to the Swolenormous Beauty Chat. Frank, some of you don't look through the content in X. Thanks, Papa. Your opinion I take as biblical in my mind because you're educating my ignorance, so I'm grateful for everything you have to tell me. No worries, man. Like, feel free to keep asking questions, and I'm honored to pass along information that I might have to help you avoid pitfalls. And I learn as much. I learn from questions and answering questions, even if I've done it 100 times. Every time I answer, it's always like I'll answer in a different way, and it'll also reinforces or processes my own thoughts. So answering questions helps me organize my thoughts. That's why I have such quick answers for a lot of things, because teaching and podcasting and answering questions help you organize experience. Frank, you should publish a joint / club warm-up video. Frank, you remember, right? I mean, we have tons of Swollen 7. We have Swolga. We have Swollen 7 Mobility, great for warm-ups. We have, no, it's cool. I mean, publish a joint, like we have all that stuff. That's all, all the Swollen 7 Mobility, Swollen 7 Club. We have the Swole Flow club programs. We have for Mace and for Steel and for Club. So yeah, we do have a lot of those things. For sure. But we're going to be we go through different phases of content and stuff publicly too. So keep an eye out for that. We also have some free classes, things like that. So maybe we'll blast and offer people a free warm-up mobility class. Eric, Papa Solio, do you use a potassium compound along with the magnesium glycinate for electrolytes? Yeah, you can get, it's in Element or Redmond Relight. You get sodium, potassium, and magnesium. All right. We got to move on. We're going to have to cut short. So last question here, and we'll take some more calls tomorrow, but the live questions were fired today. Jeremy, wanting to continue making gains in my lower body, but I can't press any more than 2 plates over my head. 2 plates plus 20 pounds? What do you mean? Like 2 45-pound plates? Because that's a shitload of fucking... I want to continue making gains in my lower body, but I can't press any more than 2 plates over my head? Oh, plus 20 to get in the squat position. Oh, okay. No squat bar rack. Need one. Thoughts on ways to gain. Oof, Jesus Christ. So you're like lifting to put on your back. Yeah. No squat bar rack. So you're training at home. You can get cheap ones, man. Have you gone on OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace? You can get squat stands super cheap, even if it's like an off-brand, because that's not safe, man. You're gonna hurt your shoulder. What I would recommend is doing like split squats, Bulgarian split squats. That way you can use a fraction of the weight. Put your back foot up on like 6 inches or 8 inches on like a block or a bench, low. Usually benches are too high, and that way you can overload. Getting a great squat. It's a great squat position, but it's like a single leg, but the Bulgarian split squat, so you don't have to use as much weight. I know what you mean. I used to do that myself. It's brutal. You're just risking a shoulder injury. Just gotta be careful. Also, you could do front squats if you want to do a clean into a front squat position. If you're not using squat racks, it's safer for you to do a front squat because you can bring it up, and do like the front rack position. And then if you ever have to bail out, you just drop your knee, boom, and just drop it to the front. So front squats are better for your quads, better for your back, and safer if you have to bail. Yeah, you could do Nordic curls too. Yeah, you could do Nordic curls with the bar and things like that. But I mean, in terms of like a squat position, I would just say do Bulgarians because they'll cut your weight dramatically. You could do landmine squats, but that's kind of like fancy shit that people do. You always see these movements like, oh, landmine. I see everyone doing these movements with like a landmine with the bar. It's like, Jesus Christ, just lift some fucking weights. So many people do some fancy shit. And, unless you're doing athletic things, like things for a specific sport, a lot of people just do these like fucking exercises that are just retarded online. It's like, God, people just don't do what works. You just can't do what works, can you? You have to do some weird fucking shit that's less effective. I see these people at home with home gyms setting up all these weird contraptions. It's like, bro, they set up all these weird contraptions, or you see these on the home gym videos. They have like thousands of dollars. These people have like $20,000 home gyms, and they do all these fancy fucking exercise. They have all these attachments, and it's really just nerding out for people that don't really want to lift hard. They get all this fancy shit and they have no gains. So it's pretty much like it's like children that grew up that like to play with Legos and they have money to spend, and they just buy all these different contraptions and get these weird fucking angles and these like things that might look good for someone that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing on social media. But it's like, dude, that's not even an effective exercise. If you want to get huge, you could be like what Jeremy, you want to get huge. I'll say this in closing. You want to get huge. Here's what you do. If you have a cage or a barbell, fine. You want to get huge. It's squats. It's presses, flat and incline. It's barbell rows. It's like wide grip pull-ups. It's tricep pushdowns. It's dips. It's curls. Done. I'm not even joking. Done. You could do overhead press, but you're fine with just doing dips. Like, you don't have to hit shoulders separately. That's it. That's all you need to do. And I know because I've done it. I lifted in my basement. It was my stepfather's home gym. It was a fucking dungeon, dirt floor. It was like a 8-foot ceiling. It was tiny. He had telephone poles that he carved. It was gangster fucking. It was dirt. There's spiders everywhere. The walls were just rocks. There was like a little funnel in the wall. You could piss outside because you had to go down, and like I almost had to crawl through. It looked like the Blair Witch Project down there. I got huge. I got so fucking big that summer. I would come up literally with like dirt all over me because the floor was dirt. Spiders would, like big fucking spiders would scatter into the wall when I turned on the light. It was grotesque, and it was awesome. I got fucking enormous. I put on so much muscle, and that was it. That was it. I didn't have enough money to go buy it, to go to like the local gym. I want to spend $100 a month for like a summer. I did deadlifts too, but deadlifts, honestly, if you want to put on size, I don't care what anyone says. Deadlifts are overrated for size. They really are. It depends. If you want strength, deadlifts can have a component, but I am definitely of the, I'm not like a deadlift hater, but it's very overrated. Most people don't have good form. Most people spend way too much focus on it. Most people take way too much out of their progress and out of their effort and energy for the week or for the training session to focus on that movement. It depends on what you're trying to accomplish, but it's very much, you see a lot of people that are strong with a deadlift, but they're skinny. So it depends on what you want to accomplish. And if you really want to put on size, it's overrated. Overrated. But there's different, like I said, it depends on, it's a tool. It depends on the application. It depends on the application. And I did deadlifts for years and years and years and years and years, legit. But I haven't in a while. Like every once in a while, I have like the weight on the ground, I deadlift it. Like I could do 3-4 plates. I'm not worried about it if I just, kind of got back into the flow of it. But RDLs are fantastic. Kettlebell swings, posterior chain, undefeated. But like a deadlift is just, you're not getting any of the eccentric. Just lift, drop. So yeah, it's like, it's good. I mean, it can give you some thickness, but I just think it depends on what people are looking for. And in many cases, the problem is people saying like deadlift is the best. If I could do one exercise forever, it would be a deadlift. Why? I'm just saying, you do one exercise. Okay. That's never going to happen. But, the issue is when people just say, oh, the deadlift is the best. So then everyone just automatically puts deadlift into their programming. That's the problem. Like if you're trying to get big, deadlifts are more risk than reward. And in terms of if you want to get big, like if you want to try to build muscle, it's not like necessarily ideal. Doesn't mean you can't do them, but you definitely don't necessarily have to like max out and just be, have a deadlift program. So, and and you have to do them properly. So if you do something properly, that's different too. And a lot of people can't do it from the ground. You could elevate the blocks. You could do a hex bar. There's different ways to do it. But I think for most people, if you had to say, okay, for most people, deadlifts or kettlebell swings done properly, I'd be like kettlebell swings, not even absolutely. It's such a powerful, explosive movement. And it's just so much better it's safer. I just think it's a better movement. Doing a kettlebell swing rather than a deadlift. If you had to choose one. But like I said, depending on the application, there's arguments for both. We're going to have to cut short today. So let's move balls deep and we'll do maybe one or two videos. Deep. One or two videos. But just like Shane says, I mean, doing deadlifts a lot of times is just like an ego lift. And the problem with, I think it's important to be able to do it competently, but anyone that tells you like deadlifts are just like, it's just, some people just like sit there and just beat off over deadlifts. And this is coming from someone who regularly did that. I regularly did deadlifts. Regularly. Like I made my gains doing deadlifts. I mean, I did deadlifts as a component of it, but it's something to look back on. It's like, yeah, I don't really know how beneficial it was. I'm not sure. I think it was good. I didn't hurt myself doing it, thankfully. But yeah, I think anyone that's programming things arbitrarily, and it's a very good way to ego lift. I'm like, hey, I can put a lot of weight on the bar. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get big. So it depends on, again, what you're trying to accomplish. Yeah, it's just not a proxy for progress. All right. First story, fam. The only story that we have here. Scientists raise alarm over potentially deadly side effect from celebrity favorite fat loss drug Wegovy and Ozempic that may have been missed in trials. Oh my goodness, you downside.
Attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
Oh my God. So here's interesting. Now they're saying like, oh, this deadly side effect of this weight loss drug might have been missed in trials yet, but the vaccines, the COVID vaccine, those are fine. Those are totally fine. You know, even though there's no long-term studies and they were manipulated by Pfizer and these other companies. Oh, but these, we may have missed a side effect. You don't say. Is that why proper test periods are important? Oh, shit. Is that why? Is that why we need long-term studies? Oh, for side effects and third and fourth order effects that we can't anticipate. Oh, you don't fucking say. You don't say a drug that's going to manipulate your body to lose weight could have negative side effects. Fucking retards. Idiots. All right. The blockbuster drugs work by mimicking the effects. Blockbuster drugs, you mean for lazy fucking rich people? Lazy fucking pieces of shit? I can't lose weight. Let me take a drug, you lazy fuck. You lazy, pathetic person. I'm taking a weight loss drug because I can't stop stuffing my face with cake. Lazy bitches. Just lazy fucks. These weight loss drugs make me sick. The blockbuster drugs work by mimicking the effects of GLP-1, a hormone that slows the movement of food through the intestines, making a person feel full for longer. Hey, nothing wrong with endocrine disruptors. That can't go wrong. Just fucking with your body's natural communication mechanism. It couldn't have any problems. But researchers in China believe the drugs may cause a person's small intestine to become enlarged, which puts them at high risk of a potentially deadly obstruction in their digestive system. Oh, you know, look, if you're taking these drugs, you probably deserve it. If you're taking Wegovy and you're buying this stuff like, oh, I'm going to lose fucking fat. Yeah. Oh, Chelsea Handler. Jesus Christ. Actress Chelsea Handler, 48, admitted to using the drug, though unknowingly, to lose weight earlier this year. Gross. Just gross. She's a train wreck of nausea. Let's see. The researchers also reviewed previous research on humans that suggests users of these types of drugs are up to 4 times more likely to suffer intestinal obstruction, quote, because this class of drugs could cause continuous increases in the intestinal length and villus height. The small intestine may become as inelastic, leading to long-term upper intestinal obstruction. Blah, 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 blah. Like, is anyone here surprised? Like, I don't care much I care zero about I don't care about Chelsea Handler or any of these other fucktards. But if you're taking these drugs to lose weight because you're too lazy to actually make proper choices, or you just don't have some fundamental discipline, like, you deserve it. Like, you deserve side effects. Come on, I'm gonna take a fat loss drug. What do you think is gonna happen? Oh, just no side effects. Look, fam, a magic pill. Oh my God, the first ever thing that doesn't have a trade-off. My goodness. Oh my God. It may have been missed in trials, you don't fucking say. Something's rushed to market. People are paid off in the FDA in order to push this bullshit to market for profit, for multi-billion-dollar pharmaceutical corporations to make a buck off stupid fucking people with too much money? You don't say. Ooh, tell me a story. All right, stupid shit. Let's move on. It's so fucking dumb. So fucking dumb. I'm going to take a fat loss drug. You lazy bitch. Go to the fucking gym. And I don't care if you have a dick or a clit. You're a lazy bitch. It's annoying. It's annoying. Just the thought. These people live among us. Just looking for a shortcut. Okay, let's see. Pick a number. Hot mess. Hotter mess. Liquid hot magma of a mess. This one's a little shorter. This one says quick reminder and it's 22 seconds. Thank God it's fucking quick. Can we get a round of applause for a short video? Who's ready to go balls deep? Let's fucking rage. Let's fucking go. Oh, God. All right, here we go. Lube up your ear holes. The knowledge cock's about to slap. It's called quick reminder. I don't want to do it, man.
Just a quick reminder for everybody. Weight, horrible indicator of health. Just the worst. The happiest and healthiest people on the earth right now are single women in their 30s. And people with uteruses can have very healthy pregnancies all the way to their 40s. And the reasons that those don't feel true is because of capitalism. So, have a good week!
No medication except my fucking antidepressants.
Shut up, bitch!
I don't even know what the point of that was. I picked up on nothing really. I heard the people with you. So you mean women? Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was about. Stop eating cake and don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs. All right, let's do this. Let's see what we got here. Let's do this one. Teacher. We got to do the woke teachers last, because anytime you start fucking and trying to manipulate kids, it just pisses me off and we can't continue. So let's do this one. This one's called body loyalty.
What's in the box?
Body loyalty. Body loyalty. Jesus Christ. What's next? These people are so fucking dumb.
Now that it's March, we are moving on the blog and on Instagram to talking about the third marrow of body loyalty. We covered
the third marrow? What? It just has to have something to do with food, right? Marrow's good. The third marrow?
body loyalty. We covered quiet, we covered self-talk, and now we're moving on to self-acceptance.
Just accept those Oreos going into your face hole.
The marrows are the purpose behind our wellness choices.
Does the word marrow have like a different meaning? I'm used to bone marrow. Like what is this, like one of those like definitions where it says marrow, you know, blah, blah, blah in the middle of a bone. 2, to consume a bone, like it's one of those like the 5th definition that's never used or is used in the Bible or something like that. What?
And for self-acceptance, it's about our emotional health.
Of course.
You know, self-acceptance is a lot about
delusion.
Just reckoning with the actual reality of what your body needs.
Cake.
You have strengths that you can utilize. You have limitations that
So go to the fucking gym. Use those strengths.
Deserve to be supported. You might be neurodiverse. You might have disabilities.
That's one of the best. We don't talk about that enough. Neurodiversity. That's one of the best woke phrases, right? Neurodiversity. You might be neurodivergent. Your brain cells are just like telling each other to fuck off. Like, yeah, we're not going that direction. Oh, God. Everything's got to have a title to make someone feel better. I'm neurodivergent. You mean you're stupid? I hate these fucking terms. I know people use that for like autism, and it's like a blanket term to, you know, it's an intersectionally blanket term. I get it.
There might be material limitations you are suffering with. Accepting all of that is part of finding a solution and refusing the blame. You know, how our bodies were made, we're just
refusing the blame. That's right. Take no responsibility. Keep that responsibility. Keep those responsibilities away from me. Keep those goddamn responsibilities. Keep them away.
They're made. There's nothing moral about that. We just have to meet those needs, but we have to start by accepting them.
Twinkies. 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 Keep using that as an excuse to keep on eating cake. All right.
That's a huge bitch.
Very nice. Stupid is a stupid does, Jenny.
My name's Forrest Gump.
All right, let's do one more. Let's do this one. I don't want your face. I don't want your face either. This one's called Teacher. This one's going to be bad. So we'll close it off with this.
What's in the box?
It's called Teacher. Oh, God.
A lot of people were asking in the comments of my last couple of videos about my anchor charts. So I'm going to take a minute to show you guys what I was talking about.
Oh my God. What the fuck is an anchor chart? I'm pausing it so I can prepare myself. Okay. Oh, what is an anchor chart? What is that fucking flag behind her? Is that like the trans-able flag? Oh my God. Anyone that has rainbow colored hair, rainbow colored glasses, if you have that flag, no, I actually am not racist. I'm not racist. I don't hate people that want to wear women's clothes or wear men's clothes or call themselves weird things. I hate stupidity. Like, if you have that flag in your background, like, fuck off. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. It's so fucking ridiculous. Okay. I'm going to watch this I'm going to try not to hang myself during this video. As I'm sure we all will. So if you have suicidal tendencies, don't do that. Call a hotline. We need you here, fam. But you might want to turn this off because this is not going to bring you away from the ledge. I'll tell you that much. Okay, let's go.
Anchor chart is kind of just a teacher fancy word for poster.
Then call it a fucking poster. An anchor chart is kind of a teacher fancy word for poster. I don't think you understand the English language. I don't think you understand the English language.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Anchor chart is kind of just a teacher fancy word for poster. The grammar is not strong with this one.
So here you can see a couple of other anchor charts that I have for...
I'm pausing it. What in the fuck is that? Mix cogdill? Mix. Mix C is my teacher. Z is multilingual. Students practice and speak Spanish with Zem. Zir hobby is learning. Can we like imprison this person? Oh my God. Please homeschool your children. Homeschool your children. If you see these people teaching your schools, they should be fired immediately and put under psychiatric evaluation for manipulation, child predation. This is some sick shit. Oh, this is gross. Thank you for showing your guilt on the internet. Hopefully she'll be fired promptly. Okay. What the fuck is that on the wall?
Other anchor charts that I have for mindfulness. And then there at the top are my anchor charts about my pronouns. It says
Narcissistic.
My name is Mixed Cogdill. My pronouns are Z, Zem, Zir, and Zirs. How to refer to Mixed Cogdill. Mixed C is my teacher. Z is multilingual. Students practice and speak Spanish with Zem. Zir hobby is learning languages.
You went full retard, man.
You make me happy. Shut up, bitch.
Another one. I'm just gonna hit that every time. My goodness. Okay. Well, that is all very, very well and stupid. This is, that's the definition of narcissism. You are so self-absorbed and obsessed and so desperate for attention. Like you are literally compelling people's speech. And the reason why I think most of these people are teachers, or the reason why it's so prevalent in that profession, is because you have children, that's your place of authority. They don't have kids. They have no control over their lives. They need a safe space, and they're manipulating other people, children that have no choice. Not only are they not their children, but you have control. You could tell them what to say and what they can't say. You're in control of your classroom. So this is why these narcissists so often are in these professions, because they can tell these kids what to do and what to say. That's where they have control. And that's the only place in their life where they have control. So they just literally extract the innocence from children. They brainwash them, they manipulate them to suit their own fucking egos, which is disgusting. It's nauseating. And it has to stop. Homeschool your kids, speak out against this shit. If you see this stuff in your personal lives, stand up, and otherwise it's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. But these people need to be fired and kept as far away from children as possible. Brutal shit. Okay, healthy as Lizzo. Let's give away today's Swole card. Here we go. Who's healthy as Lizzo? Come on, eh? Come on, eh? Who's healthy as Lizzo? Oh! It is Natty Knight. Congratulations! Natty Knight! Send us an email to support@swolenormals.com. Swole card 2496 in the subject, your mailing address in the body of the email. Congratulations. And I like this post. Congratulations, send us that email, and we'll get this knowledge cock piano going on in a second. But this one here from Betty Ford: if you love yourself, you don't need to seek outside validation from children. Ain't that the fucking truth? Ain't that the truth? It's always crazy. You know, these people claim to be like, oh, all this is acceptance and attention and love. Fam, if you actually are happy with yourself and you love yourself, you don't need to brainwash other people. You don't need to force other people to give you this kind of attention. You don't need to have power over other people in that sense. That's why it's delusion. They pretend like they love themselves. They pretend like they're happy. They're not. They're not. They're dead inside. You can see it in their eyes. And that's why when you have no purpose, when you have no morality, when you're narcissistic, when you're weak, when you're scared all the time, you need control over other people. You need control over other people because you don't have control over yourself, your mind, or your life. So you manipulate weak people. You manipulate other weak people on the internet. You manipulate children, people that can't defend themselves, people that are susceptible to bullshit, people that are weak of mind and weak physically. That's why most sexual assault, things like rape, not to get too far off topic, but it's about power. It's not about sex. It's all about power. Humans like to have control and authority, which is what happens when you don't have kids. When you don't have children, you have other people's children. If you want control over someone, have kids, and then educate them and teach them the way you want. When you're raised as a frail, weak victim, you stay in the school system, become a teacher, because then you don't have to enter the real world. You just manipulate and lie and grift and get a paycheck from our tax dollars. So we're funding this garbage. Opt out of the insanity. You have a choice. Opt the fuck out.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Got it out. Here we go. Coast to coast. Ooh, fucking nailed it again.
I gave it a 10. A 10. A fucking 10.
Fan, thanks for being here. Love you, beaches. Go get healthy as Lizzo. Not that hard. Try to get healthier if you can. If it's possible. It might be possible. We'll be here tomorrow for 2497. Very exciting times. Go check out the new merch. Go join the fam. And of course, swolenormalsex.com/signature. We got the signature series dropping on Saturday. So very exciting, but we'll see you there tomorrow. Hit the like button on the way out. Leave us 5 stars on Spotify. If you haven't yet done so for a review, it helps tremendously. So if you haven't yet done so, do it. And we'll see you tomorrow for 2497. Peace, McGeese, deuce, Magoose, your boy Papa Swole. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now the king left and they so mad, it's like
yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag.
that's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, chill. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant, on topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my